All right, my honeys. So I finished Mafia: The Old Country a while back, and I said I was going to do a review on it. It was one of those games where, once I finished Stalker 2 storyline, one of them, I'd go on and play something else. But I did start Resident Evil Village, and I started having a great time with it, but this game kept sucking me back. I wasn't even wanting it to. I started having questions like, well, what if I make this decision, or what if I make that decision? What happens here? What happens there? So I started a brand new playthrough. And I'm happy to report I didn't die nearly as is that really? Is we getting some fog? That's so cool. I'm sorry. So I went back and started playing Stalker 2 again. But I did want to do a review of Mafia Old Country. Okay. So I'm gonna try to be as short and sweet about it. It was a stinker. The game starts and it feels like the first 2 hours is setting you up for like the adventure you're gonna be on. It's like old timey mafia stuff. Alfredo, fettuccine, spaghetti. It was gonna be great. And so we start getting in these missions, and there was the bandit hideout. I was like, "Oh wow, you mean this game we're gonna have to go deal with bandits who are stealing stuff from people who we're protecting." We can pick up missions to go deal with some banditos. Wait, yeah, was banditos. Why not? That's so cool. And then the game has you go around collecting money from people who owe money to the Don. It's like, oh wow, so we can go around collecting money for the Don. Oh, that's so cool. You know? And we gotta fight the police. And we're gonna have to deal with this enemy faction. Like, oh man, I can't wait for random encounters out in the world when exploring, and all of a sudden, like maybe a fight breaks out, and you can jump in and help your fellow mafia bros defeat the other mafia bros. So it was just kind of like it felt like it was just setting you up for like a authentic Sicilian mafia cool freaking history shit, right? Wouldn't that be great? That sounds amazing. That didn't happen. None of that happened. Uh there was just story beat after story beat after story beat, and there were many moments that were somewhat enjoyable. Like not every game needs to be open world. Believe me, I don't subscribe to that. You get tired of open world games. I'm sick and tired of a huge world that I have to explore, doing this, collecting that, blah 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 blah, except for Stalker 2. I don't know, something about this game it's okay in this game, okay? But it's probably because the world is done so very very well. Um but I just expected more mashed potatoes and gravy on that plate, and it never happened. And the knife fights were really fun. I was always like, oh, wow, these knife fights are so awesome. But they stopped being awesome after a while. I just had come to expect it. After the main story beat, you go in, like, here's the setup. You sneak in, find your objective. Then all of a sudden, all the enemies are alerted to your location. Then now you got to shoot your way out, and then at some point there will be a knife fight, and then there's a cutscene. And oh boy, man, are there a lot of cutscenes. The story is your basic Romeo and Juliet shit, but not really because Romeo and Juliet were two different factions who fell in love. But maybe it was kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, two star-crossed lovers or whatever. So you had what was his name? Enzo? And then there was Schnozzabella is what I called her because she had a huge nose. And I made it a point to make sure that Enzo ignored her. Like, oh, go meet Schnozzarella over here to talk to her. And I would ignore, ignore, ignore. Because you knew it was trouble. This is the Don's daughter. He really could have had time to get involved with any other woman, but instead, the story demands he falls in love with the Don's daughter. Everything's on rails. I ignored her every chance I got. There's like two moments where you can, well, every chance is like two moments, but still, she's acts like she's totally in love with him. And that's not realistic because she's Sicilian. Okay, it doesn't take much to offend an Italian woman, like a real Italian woman. Sicilian women, just as much. But no matter how I tried to snub her, because Enzo had no business fooling around with her, she still fell madly in love with him. There was never even a cutscene where she smacked him. Why didn't you meet me, Enzo? Bip! Never happened. Never happens, right? It's very on the rails. It's immersion breaking. Like when I got into a knife fight with the captain of the police, really? Effing really? Or I'm trying to escape a factory that's on fire and some random dude comes in because the game dictates you need to be in a knife fight in order to end the mission. So me and this guy are in a knife fight while the place is burning down around us because that's just the way it is. Like it's so immersion breaking. And I did try the free mode, the free roam thing. And yeah, it was kind of cool riding my horse around and exploring a little bit here and there and but I'm like there's nothing interesting going on here. Yeah, it's kind of cute because you get to walk through the city streets and you see people like dancing to bands and stuff. It's cute, but it's not interesting. Like the world is, you just definitely know you're playing a video game. It's nuts. Speaking of playing video games, did you hear about the new study that came out about video games? Was it Australia? I think it was. And they were like, oh, well, video games aren't good for mental health. And, people that play video games more than 10 hours a week, they suffer from depression and they eat too much. Here's a hot take. People who those people that they did in their study, maybe they were already depressed and they were playing video games to escape from the things that depress them. They were college students, right? So there's the pressure of tuition, grades. Can I get a job after school? The world's going to shit, right? Because we're talking about like Gen Z. I feel so sorry for Gen Z. Like, I don't blame them for being depressed. I would say they're playing video games because they're trying to forget, right? And again, like if they're overeating or they're like over snacking while they're playing video games, that's another side effect of being depressed. Comfort eating, right? So, I mean, that study is so bogus, but that's the new thing, guys. Okay. You remember how they were always trying to link like violence to video games? Well, they can't do that anymore. So they come up with a new thing, guys. Okay. Depression and overeating. Video games makes you depressed and it forces you to overeat. Okay. So, yeah, don't play video games. If it's a really good video game, do you even have time to eat? I don't think so. But yeah, so it's just a study to create like fucking stereotypes. Am I right? Depressed losers. I've been playing video games for over 20 years. I wouldn't consider myself a loser, and I definitely don't overeat. I mean, like because of my spiritual path, like I go through certain intervals of fasting, right? And it's kind of like a requirement for certain things that I participate in my spiritual path, right? So definitely can't be overeaten. In that, yeah, I mean, everybody gets depressed sometimes. They get the blues. The only time I really feel depressed is like spending money on a video game that turns out to be nothing like what I wanted it to be. And it definitely wasn't worth the money. Dying Light 2. So, you know what I mean? So there's that. Yeah. I am I'm genuinely shocked at how Stalker 2 is keeping me in its grips. This game's got bugs. And but then again, like Witcher 3 had bugs and we had a good laugh on the channel because I documented all those crazy moments. It was a funny laugh. But, Witcher 3 was an awesome experience. Even on the PS5. Some people said that, the older formatted version of it wasn't nearly as buggy. I don't know. I wasn't there for that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's immersing me in spite of the bugs. And I have had some side quests break on me, but usually like if you load back in, I think the worst bug I experienced in this game so far that was just really frustrating. I started the Huntsman quest, killed some pigs, came back. He gave me a night vision goggles, and all of a sudden, Skiff could no longer turn his normal light off and on. So I had to roll back before even talking to him, which I mean, I'm really enjoying the game, so I'm just like, oh man, old school gaming at its best. Am I right? You gotta roll your shit back. But my progress in the story overall wasn't really rolled back. It was just getting back to like before I started engaging in his quest line. That's all I had to do. Um, I might try again. It was just a fluke. I'm really excited about the Unreal Engine upgrade, but then again, I'm also really nervous. What if it absolutely ruins the game for a PS5? I don't know. But once it drops, we'll have a look at it. What the hell is that? What is that? I don't know. It shows anyway. So yeah, Mafia Old Country was a stinker, guys. It was an absolute stinker. Oh my gosh, pretty game. It was pretty, and it had some fun moments. But man, every mission was the same effing thing over and over and over again. And you could say that about any video game, but the way Old Country did it, it felt like I was playing a video game that didn't want me to forget I was playing a video game. Like, and they really wanted to tell a story, and they put a lot of time in the cutscenes. So it was a movie, but then when you get into the video game parts, it definitely doesn't want you to forget you're playing a video. It was a very weird, unsatisfying experience. So yeah, they charged you $50 to play the game. Um, I'm gonna say they got they said they're still working on it. Yeah, you are. You better be. You better be. Okay. Because when I can't even go off on a side quest and go collect money from somebody and then go beat someone up because they are harassing our customer, you know? Like that's what you expect with like a crime, a mobster game, right? Like to engross yourself in the world. And there was none of that. None of it. So, yeah. Anyway, yes. Mafia Old Country was very disappointing. I finished it. I played around with the open world feature, which was So yeah, I uninstalled it. I was like, I'm uninstalling this. I don't want to play it anymore. So anyway, uh, so yeah, like Stalker 2's got some updates coming on. Uh, if you guys want, I'll cover the updates. If they're crap, you know I'm gonna tell you. You know I'm gonna tell you. So, I'll be like, oh my god, what did they do? What did they do to my precious boy? So anyway, yeah. That's all I got for now. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip side. Please stay warm. Man, it's getting cold outside, baby. It's getting cold outside. You better stay warm, all right? Button up. Get your wool socks on. All right. Get your hot chocolate ready. It's going to be a cold one. If you're, within, you know, the storm region coming. So anyway, yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.